Good morning, everybody. So I thought we could start doing a community parts check-in every Tuesday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Central Time. And all it is doing the daily parts check-in practice that I started doing. The beginning of it was I was already probably a couple months into my journey of my own emotional healing with my own IFS practitioner. And I, at that time, I was meditating. I had been meditating for 10 years or so, off and on, felt like I couldn't get it right. It brought me some calmness in my system. So my body and my nervous system got to feel what that calmness actually felt like. So in that way, the meditation was really good because before that, I hadn't known what it felt like. Um, but the difference was when the parts started realizing, when the inner parts and the subconscious started realizing in my weekly IFS sessions with my own practitioner that I was beginning to listen. And even listening from another part in the beginning, that's okay. Other parts started realizing that I was listening. I was turning that attention inward that you turn, and I was listening. So the parts kept coming in. I was trying to meditate. The parts kept coming in, and I was like, get out of here. Like, go away. You know, like in meditation, you want the goal, I guess. I thought my understanding was the goal was to have a clear mind and to just be. And so I was like, go away another time. And they kept showing up. So I said, fine. I'm not able to get a quote, clear mind. So just everybody stand in line. I need to hear all of you one at a time. So just stand in line, single file. And I could even like get a visual of it, like the parts. I could see like different differentiation and different visuals of them. And they were like, some were excited and some were like a little bit, I don't know about this. Um, but it helped me get to my angry part, which was a firefighter part that I had not really gotten to before that. But listen to what happened. So they're all standing in line. I just take that meditation time and I just go one at a time. What do you want me to know? And what are you scared will happen if you don't do this job? So they were at this time, they were all protectors. So, and it's fine if it's protectors or if it's exiles. It's fine if we just connect with them. What do you want me to know? Notice what you notice about the part. Maybe a visual, maybe what it looks like. Sometimes it was like just thoughts, or like it would play, like the part would play like a song lyric in my mind. So I was like, okay, so this is the lyric that you're playing, and I see what you want me to know. So that acknowledging them and that little tiny bit of understanding, just a little tiny, what are you trying to show me? Understanding. And then what are you scared would happen? Like if you didn't do this job. And that kind of tells you what that wound is, that core wound that an exile part is holding behind them. But some protectors know what part they're protecting and some don't. So, and that's okay. Just ask what they're scared of. It can be something as simple as, I'm just scared that we'll be lonely. I'm scared we won't have anybody. I'm scared we'll be rejected. I'm scared we won't be understood. That's okay. So it was just like those three things. Notice what you notice. What message do they have for you? And what are they most scared would happen if they didn't do their job or they didn't show up in the way that they're showing up? And I just went through the line. And at the end of the line of the parts that were showing up, with that attention turned inward, there was kind of a lot of parts like in that line. And when I got through to the end, there was this serenity inside. Like it wasn't just calmness, like the nervous system had settled. It was almost like this openness, this spaciousness inside. And I was like, is this what inner peace feels like? This is awesome. Oh my goodness. I had been wishing for two things my entire life from the time I was very young, and it was inner peace and freedom. And I had gotten the inner peace. So I was like, oh, we are on to something here. We are going to start doing this every morning. Instead of sitting to meditate, we're actually going to do this. And since then, I do meditate, but kind of like on the fly, where I do a daily parts check-in every morning to connect with whatever is near the surface that wants my attention. And I find that doing that, especially in the morning, if I can, that it reduced the level of emotional surge that comes from any triggers or activation that might hit during the day, because that part already had built trust with me. It already knows I'm listening. It already knows that I heard its message. So it didn't have to become inflamed as much. And throughout the day, I noticed more calmness and quiet so that I began to just naturally kind of meditate in just little spots throughout the day. So instead of sitting down to meditate, for an hour in the morning or something, now it comes up during the day. And that quietness allows me to hear not only what the parts are saying to me, but also what divine connection is saying to me, giving me inner guidance, giving me guided action steps of what to do next. So it kind of really changed my life. And that was a few years ago, and that's what I've done ever since. And it builds that inner trust, that emotional stability, that calmness in the nervous system, and reduces that amount of emotional surge coming up whenever there's a trigger or an activation. So even though I've healed many, many core wounds, I have hardly any emotional triggers at all anymore. I still do the practice because it was the beginning of inner peace, and it keeps me on track to make sure that I continue to cultivate that inner peace, that listening to the parts and opening that water hose, I call it, like that water hose is fully flowing with the natural flow of divine connection that's in us. The only thing that cinches up that water hose and blocks that flow is the fear being held by the inner parts in our inner system, in our subconscious. So it's life-changing. So join me Tuesday mornings, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we'll start doing it together, and then we'll see what unfolds from it.